Hello, welcome back to today's second video. So earlier on this morning we released the verification for the autumn 2017 forecast. You can find that on the autumn updates page. It just sort of goes through what happened during the autumn and how the autumn forecast fared from Gaz Rugby's. This, of course, is weekend forecast. It's Saturday, so as always, on a Saturday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the week ahead. It could be a very changeable week coming up, quite stormy at times. There'll be bouts of heavy rain and strong winds too. And then right at the very end of the week, we have got a bit of a problem because we may get some significantly colder weather returning at the end of the week and into the first weekend of January. There is uncertainty associated with that. It's not a clear-cut switch back to cold weather. So I'll talk you through the sort of second half of the week in the weekend forecast, but do keep in mind it's with very low confidence from around Thursday onwards. Just say there's the written version, gets out from buttons at the top of the page. Later on today, we'll probably have a look at the midday runs and see what they're showing for the next 7 to 10 days as well. I've got a bit of a bad tooth come on, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as I can. We're going to start with the radar picture from the weatheroutlook.com. You can find a link to Weather Outlook on the links page. So there's a fair amount of dry weather for England and Wales, some showery bursts of rain across Wales and the southwest. But for Scotland, we've got some more persistent rain, and it is quite cold up in the north. I've overlaid the temperatures, and you'll see that temperatures are still below freezing across much of central northern Scotland. So as this rain moves in, it could well turn to sleet or snow, especially over high ground, but maybe also on low ground across some central and northern parts of Scotland this afternoon. Further south, it's too mild for snow. Essentially, we've got rain for much of northern England, albeit quite showery in nature. So this is how the synoptic pressure map is looking for today. We've got low pressure dominating. In fact, our next named storm, Storm Dylan, is starting to wind itself up in the Atlantic. So today is a little bit of like the calm before the storm, actually. Through this afternoon, then we're going to find further showery bands of rain or snow across parts of Scotland. Some showery bursts of rain through Northern Ireland and Northern England as well. Much of England and Wales having a mainly dry day until late on, when we'll find freshening winds and heavy rain arriving in the far southwest. That's ahead of Storm Dylan. A big contrast in temperatures today, ranging from around 12 or 13 degrees down in the south. Very mild day in the south, that's into the mid-50s Fahrenheit. But in the north, much colder there, just 3 or 4 degrees with the temperatures tonight. So that's Storm Dylan moving in through the course of the night and into tomorrow. That's going to bring heavy rain across much of the country. Initially, that rain will be across Wales and southwest England, but it will spread northwards and eastwards across the whole country through the course of the night, driven on by strong winds. In fact, by the end of the night, the winds could be gusting at around 70 miles an hour across some parts of Northern Ireland and southwestern Scotland. So severe gales by the end of the night in the far northwest. And a windy night for all parts of the country tonight. Temperatures will be mild in the south, so in the south holding up at around 10 to 12, very mild night down in the south. But in the north it will be colder, just freezing to around 2 or 3 degrees. Could be more snow on high ground as this persistent rain moves in, and may have some ice to contend with as well in the far north of Scotland. New Year's Eve looks like that then. It's a very unsettled day. We're going to start off with a lot of wet weather across the country through the course of Sunday. That persistent rain should clear away through the day, but it'll turn showery and brighter generally. So sunny spells will come through, but we will have showers in the west. They're being blown in by these westerly winds. They're quite strong winds as well. In fact, the severe gales that we'll start off with in the far northwest will probably transfer down to the southwest of the country. So again, gusts of wind up to around 60, 70 miles an hour, certainly possible through parts of southern and southwestern England through the course of New Year's Eve afternoon and evening. East areas probably get the best of weather once that more persistent rain has cleared through, but even there it'll be a blowy old day, and there could be 1 or 2 showers coming through. Most of the showers, though, will be in the west. Temperatures on New Year's Eve a little bit cooler than today, but still mild in the south at around 8 to 10. In the north, I think we're looking at temperatures there quite cold again, really, around 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. And then as we go through to New Year's Eve evening and sort of the early hours of New Year's Day, let's just quickly show you that. So that's how things look at midnight on New Year's Day. We're going to have a showery night. Most of the showers will be in the west. Many central east areas will be dry. It'll be quite a windy night, and temperatures will hold up at around 4 or 5 degrees. There will be a chill to that wind, but I don't think we'll have too much in the way of frost or ice to contend with for anybody moving around during the overnight period. And then into New Year's Day itself, so it looks a bit showery. The wind's turning a little bit northwesterly, so it will be a bit colder, but actually a fairly reasonable day. There'll be showers in the north and the west, and they might turn a bit wintry, especially over high ground. But many southern, eastern, central parts of the country will actually have a reasonably dry day with sunny spells, and temperatures will be about average this time of year, ranging from around 3 to 8 degrees Celsius. So not a big deviation from what you'd expect at this time of the year. And a bright and breezy day, actually quite a nice Thursday to 2018. However, it all goes downhill on Tuesday as the next low pressure is rolling in from off the Atlantic. So although Tuesday may start off with sunny spells, possibly some ground frost in the north and east, very quickly we'll find cloud, wind and rain spreading in from off the Atlantic. Some of the rain will be heavy, driven in again. You'll notice by the tight back icebergs, driven in again by strong winds. They could be reaching gale force around some western coasts and headlands by the end of Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures after a chilly start will become reasonably mild for the time of year, ranging from around 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. Into Wednesday, I think we could have another bout of wet weather during the course of Wednesday morning across England and Wales, so that rain could be really quite heavy indeed. That moves out of the way, and then we're left with this showery northwesterly wind. The wind will bring showers into western parts of the country. Many eastern areas will actually have a reasonable amount of dry weather during the course of Wednesday. Bit cooler as well. Temperatures back down to sort of 3 to 8 degrees Celsius. Showers could turn wintry up in the north. And then from Thursday onwards, we have a lot of uncertainty. So we've got this deep area of low pressure moving in from the Atlantic. Also, pressure is beginning to rise up to our north and northeast. And exactly how that low pressure and the high pressure that's rising up to the northeast interact with one another, that's where the uncertainty is coming from. Thursday probably starts off mostly dry with sunny spells and maybe some ground frost. Then cloud, wind and rain begins to move in from off the Atlantic, affecting many western areas through the day. Eastern areas could stay and have a reasonably dry day with sunny spells. Temperatures again around 3 to 8 degrees Celsius. Then from Friday onwards, we really do have a lot of uncertainty. This latest run of the GFS wants to move this low pressure down across the country, start to pull colder air in from the north and the east. So it implies much of England and Wales has a very wet day on Friday with heavy outbreaks of rain. And as that colder air starts to dig in, we could well find it turning to snow across parts of Scotland and northern England. Could be some persistent outbreaks of snow if this was to come off as this is showing. Temperatures in the south would still be quite mild at around 8 to 10, but it will be much colder up in the north with temperatures across northern Scotland barely above freezing. And then what this one of the GFS wants to do, wants to move that low pressure to our south through this first weekend of January, which pulls the winds in from the east. So you get a bitterly cold easterly wind feeding in, and just an increasing risk of snow developing across the country through that weekend of the 6th or 7th of January. That'll be a very wintry and cold weekend. But I'm going to show you the midnight run of the GFS, a run that came just before this run, and you'll see what happens here is that we don't get that cold easterly wind. We've got this low pressure sitting over the country next Saturday. Yes, pressure is rising across Scandinavia, but nothing really comes of it. And by Sunday, 7th of January, we're just bringing westerlies back in from off the Atlantic. So a huge amount of uncertainty for this end of the week period and into the first week of January. Obviously, we're going to have to keep you posted on it. There is a potential for a quite significant spell of wintry weather to set up, I think, as we go into the second week of January. But whether we get to that potential, whether it comes to anything, we need more runs of the models to determine that. And obviously, we will keep you updated, starting with today's next video, which will be coming up this evening. Fine, just have a look at charts from Weather Outlook. So we've got a reasonable amount of dry weather in the southeast, and we've got showery bursts of rain in the northwest. Still cold enough for snow across parts of Scotland. New Year's Eve is going to start off pretty stormy across many parts of the country. We'll have outbreaks of rain to begin with through the morning, some quite heavy and persistent rain, gradually clearing away and turning more showery in nature. We have gale force winds to begin the day in the northwest, and then they'll transfer down to the southwest. New Year's Day looks a fairly decent day, actually one of the best days of the week, coming up on Monday, on the first day of 2018. A few showers still left. They might be a bit wintry also, but many places are going to have a dry day with sunny spells. However, it all goes downhill on Tuesday as wet and windy weather sweeps in from off the Atlantic. Could still be a little bit of snow in the far north of Scotland, but most places seeing rain and strong winds as well on Tuesday. Showers or longer spells of rain into Wednesday, and then through Thursday and Friday. Well, Thursday looks quite wet, especially in the west. By Friday, we're back to more showery conditions. Potentially, this run is based on the midnight run of the GFS, so there's no particularly cold weather showing up there. We know that the 6 o'clock run of the GFS did have a very notably cold spell setting up from Friday and into that first weekend of January. So anything from around Thursday, Friday onwards is very uncertain. It may stay reasonably mild away from the far north of the country, or it might turn really cold, and we're just going to have to wait and see a little bit longer on that. So, in summary, we're starting stormy, and we're going to keep it pretty stormy as we go through the first few days of 2018. There'll be showers and longer spells of rain coming and going, driven in by strong winds too. And then the end of the week and the first weekend of January, there's a lot of uncertainty for that. It may get a lot colder with an increase in risk of snow, but we've got to wait and see whether that does indeed verify. Alright, we'll cover that a little bit more in today's next video. It'll be coming up this evening based on the midday runs of the models. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.